Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Meena Gautam, author of the book Archival Science Education and Training in India. Now, just I would like to introduce this book, why I took up this project. Because the preservation of India's documentary heritage is very crucial for understanding its past, present, and future. And archival science education and training plays a very vital role in this endeavor. And yet, it remains a very neglected field of education. And this is all my studies about my book highlights the challenges and the opportunities in promoting archival science education and training in India. Now, the question is why I took up this study as a we can see that as a student in a school, college, or university, we never heard about archives. We knew what is a museum, what is a library, but we never knew what is an archives. That was the main thing when I joined National Archives. There is a school of archival studies which trains archivists to work in archives. I used to visit archives as a scholar. This is a scholar for doing my doctorate, and while doing this doctorate, I came across what archives is all about and how it contributes to the writing of our history. Now we visit museum, there we see a lot of art and artifacts based in archaeological findings, but to study for an authentic history of India, what is important is the source. Means on the basis of the findings that we have as part of our documentary heritage, particularly for the medieval and modern Indian history, archive sources are very, very valuable and important. So the difference between archives and library and museum is that museum and libraries are public places where anybody can go and study, but archives is a restricted area. And I know, and it's just not open to everyone. One has to get access, and there's the permission before one can enter archives and consult our public records. So that is very, very important. As a scholar, what we need is that we want records to consult, but we never knew how they are preserved, they are archived. That was an important thing which I came to learn while working in National Archives of India. But the irony was that National Archives of India was the only institution in the country which was imparting this kind of training. And we are having now archives all over India, not only in public sector, government and state archives, but in private business sector, banking archives, and even any business house or industry, they have their archives, even scientific institutions, medical hospitals, and everywhere you go, you find records. Means you are admitted to an hospital and they open a file for you as a record. So your patient history is there, so it becomes part of their record, and they conduct study. And this is what All India Institute of Medical Sciences is doing. So this is something which really inspired me. You can say that this is what we need to do little more. When I became a member of the International Council of Archives, I found that there are many internationally. I found the countries everybody is doing so well, but why we are so behind? Our universities, institutions, and we hardly know anything about archives. Even teachers, they hardly know anything about archives. So that prompted me to let me take it up as a subject study. What is being done in the country, all over India? And UGC incidentally introduced museum and archives of paper in the universities and colleges in India. And this is what prompted me further to take up how much we are doing and how well are we doing. And this is my study that I took up in 2018 to 2020. And then Corona happened. But my data collection had been done, so I did my writing during the Corona period. This was supported by Indian Council of Historical Research. 2 year project I took up, and you will find that this my book on archival science education and training. It is an insight into all the status of this education in the country, and we find that we are not we are not anywhere. There are only 3 universities now imparting education on archival science, that is Jamia Millia Islami from 2023 and 24. I was associated with them while introducing this 1 year diploma course. in conservation and of archival and library material, and archives and our library material they have introduced, because I've promoted that we need to have integrated studies as an independent discipline. Of course, it is a full-fledged subject of study, and there is a lot of scope, since now we are having so many archives all over India, but without any manpower, trained, qualified professionals, and we don't have any regulatory body also. So there's so many challenges that we need to address, and my book deals with all these aspects. Not only that, current status, what is all about, and what are we, where are we standing. It also deals about the evolution and development, growth and development of archives in India, and our National School of and Archival Studies in National Archives of India was established in 1942. And still, we find that no university like that had been conducting these courses. It's just a recent development. BHU has started a 2 years master program, the only university in the country dealing with this subject. And there are no books. I'm just quoting here, and my work is unique and first of its kind that has been done by me. We don't have many books except two, three books written by a few people that mostly they relate from historical perspective. What historians want to consult records, access to records. This is all about. But apart from that, what is more important in this is that the archival sources are basics. That provide all kind of information for historical writing. So these are historical records, and to know archives where public records are, where are private papers, archives is a place where we can get access, and how they are preserved scientifically. That is in itself an independent subject of study. And we don't have experts and teachers also in the country. So this is what National Archives School of Archival Studies is doing. And I've tried to answer, and the availability of this subject is very, very important. IGSCA is doing a very good work so far as conservation is concerned, but archives administration, records management, there are so many things. Archival law, I have tried to address all these things in my book. It's a comprehensive study. You can see besides study, last two chapters, there are 7 chapters in the book. And last two chapters, they deal with my field study, and the report is there, and my findings are also there. But first 5 chapters deals with how this subject archives as such evolved, and in Western countries and in India, how it became as a legacy of the British rulers. Modern archives, mostly I'm talking about. It's not that we didn't have archives in earlier ancient days. We had during medieval period also we had, but all these things have been addressed, and historical perspective also I have tried to deal with, because education and growth and development of archives, they are complementary to each other, and they go together. So my study is that what is, I feel every archivist and any educational institution, because every area it touches all areas. I won't say it is only history for students, it is only for political science students, or it is only for management. No, it is for everyone to deal with, because nowadays we talk about GLAM. What is GLAM is National Gallery of Modern Arts. Then we have museums, and libraries, and archives. So GLAM contains all these four institutions. They talk about knowledge sharing, but they don't talk about integrated education that we need to promote. And with any form we can have physical records, we can now have in the form of digital records. So in both the fields are very important, and we have to do and address all these subjects. And this is what I'm trying to promote through my this study, archival science education and training in India. And it's a must read, I must say, for anyone, everyone, in the university, in the colleges, in the schools, because if we don't start early, they know museum, they know library, they don't know what are archives, and how the records, how our documentary heritage can be preserved. Because UNESCO is also, it's a national memory of the nation that we all talk about. And what is the motto of my this study is that And the motto of the study is very, very important. Preserving the nation's memory is not optional, it is our responsibility. This is timely manifesto for a field whose moment has arrived. This is in behind. You can find everything written in my book, why this study I had taken up. And this is unique in that way that no such work exists. And my students in the universities and colleges will find it as the teachers, faculty in history, particularly politics, library science, particularly management studies, and those all those institutions, educational institutions having archives like astrophysics in the National Center of Biological Studies, Jadavpur University, audiovisual archives, our Doordarshan, any channel, any newspaper, everyone is having their archives, even audio archives. You can see our AIR, All India Radio, they are having their archives. The future is bright, very scope is very bright, provided our government takes it up very seriously. This is what I'm trying to harp and address these educationists with our law planners, educationists, and the future policy makers, if they can make it one of the important subject that we need to include as part of our regular courses in the universities. Now it has started, the momentum has started. And I hope the future is very bright and we must go on in this area. Thank you very much.